You've seen the headlines. AI will take your job, and every time you read one, you think the same thing. Not mine. Because you're not a truck driver. You're not a cashier. You're not in a factory. You're in an office. You have a degree. You have experience. You have a title, and that's exactly why you're not ready for what's actually happening. Here's what your week actually looks like. Monday, you pull a report, compile some data, send a summary to your manager. Tuesday, you're on 4 calls. 3 of them recap what could have been an email. 1 of them, you're just there to stay aligned. Wednesday, you review a document, flag a few things, route it to the right people. Thursday, status update. Friday, another deck. And somewhere in there, you did actual work, maybe 2-3 hours of it. The rest was coordination, was communication, was information relay. Now here's the part they're not telling you. That is the job AI came for first. Every video you've watched about AI and jobs shows you the same list. Data entry clerks, telemarketers, call center workers. And you nod along. Those aren't me. But that list is already out of date. That was 2023's problem. In 2025, Salesforce laid off 4,000 customer support workers. They didn't replace them with cheaper workers overseas. They replaced them with AI agents. This is just one piece of what's really happening at work. Like it so more people wake up. Share it with a colleague who needs this reality check. Subscribe Workplace Decoded to start playing smarter, not just harder. Klarna, the payments company, shrunk its workforce by 40%. Not manufacturing jobs, not warehouse jobs, white-collar jobs. And here's what nobody is saying clearly. The list that's circulating online, it's protecting you from the truth. Because the jobs disappearing right now aren't at the bottom of the org chart. They're in the middle. They're yours. Let's go through the actual list, not the comfortable one. The real one. #1. The Corporate Compliance Specialist, one of the top 10 fastest declining job titles in the US right now. Down 29% in job postings since ChatGPT launched. You review policy documents. You cross-check regulations. You flag inconsistencies. You route approvals. AI does that in seconds, not eventually, right now. Tools like Harvey AI are already being deployed inside law firms and compliance departments to do exactly this, at a fraction of the cost. The work isn't complex. It's meticulous, and AI is more meticulous than any human alive. #2. The Business Analyst, not the strategic one. The one who pulls data, formats it, builds the slide, and presents it to someone who makes the actual decision. Harvard Business School research shows that since ChatGPT launched, job postings for roles with structured and repetitive tasks dropped 13%. If your job is to take data from System A, make it readable, and hand it to System B, that pipeline is being automated. Right now, not in 5 years. This year. #3. The entry-level financial analyst, recent CS grad, finance grad, entering the workforce in 2024 or 2025. Unemployment rate, 6.1%. That's nearly double the rate for philosophy majors. Let that sit. The safe degree isn't safe anymore. Because your first 2 years on the job, learning how to pull reports, reconcile data, build models, I can do that instantly. So companies aren't hiring entry-level analysts to train them. They're hiring one senior analyst and giving them AI. The bottom rung of the ladder is gone. And nobody told you that before you took out the student loans. #4. The middle manager. This is the one nobody wants to say out loud. Because middle managers aren't on any jobs I will replace list. They're too senior to feel threatened. They're too junior to be protected. But Gartner, one of the most trusted research firms in corporate America, says that by the end of 2026, 1 in 5 organizations will use AI to eliminate more than half of their middle management layers. 1 in 5. This year. Why? Because middle management's core function is coordination. Status updates, routing decisions, synthesizing information from one floor and delivering it to another. AI doesn't need to attend your stand-up. It already knows what everyone is working on. Amazon, the company famous for automating warehouses, just cut 30,000 corporate jobs, not warehouse workers, corporate workers. And in the internal memo, leadership said AI would reduce the total corporate workforce as efficiency gains compound. That's not a future threat. That's a current strategy. #5. The project coordinator/program manager. Your job is to know where things stand. Who's blocked? What's at risk? When things are due, you live in spreadsheets, Slack, and status calls. AI agents now do this in real time. They read every message. They know every deadline. They flag every risk without being asked. Coinbase just restructured to a maximum of 5 organizational layers. The CEO called excessive management layers a coordination tax. You are the coordination tax. #6. The junior paralegal/legal researcher. Baker McKenzie, one of the biggest law firms in the world, just laid off up to 1,000 employees. Not senior lawyers, researchers, paralegals, document reviewers. AI tools like Harvey, Lexis Plus AI, and Westlaw Edge read contracts, flag risks, and summarize case law faster than any associate. The LinkedIn CEO called these jobs the bottom rungs of the career ladder. The rungs aren't being replaced. They're being removed entirely. #7. The content writer/marketing copywriter, not the strategist, not the creative director, the person writing product descriptions. Email sequences. Ad copy variations. Blog posts for SEO. Job postings for content writing roles are down dramatically. Sustainability specialist roles down 28%. Roles built on producing volume content being automated wholesale. If your value is output, not insight, AI is already cheaper, faster, and inexhaustible. #8. Recruiting/HR coordinators screening resumes. Scheduling interviews. Sending offer letters. AI is already doing this inside Workday, Greenhouse, and Bamboo HR. Workday, the HR software company itself, laid off 1,750 people in 2025. The company automating your HR department is automating its own HR department. #9. The QA analyst/manual tester. If your job is to test what engineers build, running through scenarios, logging bugs, verifying functionality, AI now does this continuously, automatically, and without lunch breaks. Companies report a 92% increase in hiring for AI-related positions. But the people being hired are not the people being let go. That gap between who's being cut and who's being hired is the most honest thing anyone has said about this moment. #10. The report builder/data reporter. Not the analyst who decides what to measure. The person who measures it and packages it. Weekly reports, monthly dashboards, quarterly summaries. AI now pulls the data, builds the visual, writes the narrative, and emails it to the right people automatically. If your value was producing the report, not interpreting the result, your role has already been automated. Your company just hasn't told you yet. Here's the shift you need to make. Stop proving you can produce. Start proving you can decide. Because producers are being automated. Decision makers are being amplified. The question isn't, is my job safe? The question is, if my job description was given to an AI, how much of it could it do by next year? Be honest. If the answer is more than 50%, you're already in the warning zone. Be honest. What percentage of your job could AI do right now? Drop a number in the comments. No judgment. There's a version of this that doesn't make the news. No announcement. No severance package. No LinkedIn post about excited for the next chapter. Just, your team gets smaller. Your scope gets narrower. Your projects get reassigned to a tool. And you're still employed. Still getting paid. Still showing up. But you're managing an AI now, instead of doing work. And 6 months later, they realize they don't need someone to manage it either. This is the invisible layoff. It doesn't happen to you all at once. It happens to your role, slowly, until one day the role and you are no longer the same thing. The most dangerous position in corporate America right now isn't the one getting cut. It's the one getting hollowed out. Most people in those roles did their job well. They showed up. They delivered. And that was the trap. The problem isn't that they failed. The problem is that they succeeded at the wrong thing.